Coming up tonight in College Park, a huge top 10 showdown. Maryland taking on USC. Joining us now, she is, of course, the head coach of the undefeated Terps. She is Brenda Frese, and she's back with us here on GCR. Coach, it's Glenn. It's always great to chat. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, good morning, Glenn. Great to be on.
I want to go back to the start of the season because I remember you and I talking about how many new pieces were coming together, and you told me, "Hey, might need a little patience. It might take a minute. They're talented, but it might take a minute." What happened to all that taking a minute?
Well, boy, was I wrong. I'm coach speak, right? Coach speak. But I credit these women. You know, they were the ones that we were able to foster that chemistry early, taking a foreign trip over to Croatia in the summertime, and just really, that gave us a huge advantage, and we were able to build it from there.
Was there any moment or any one player coming along or a change in something that made you realize just how good this group was going to be so quickly?
I think the measuring factor early was the Duke game.
Yeah.
You just didn't know how they were going to respond. So that, arena that was packed and, a top 10 opponent coming in ahead of us. And, man, we punched first and never looked back. I thought that was the response where I really saw just how competitive this group is. And, fortunately for us, I mean, they hate to lose. They love to win. And it's, one of the most competitive groups I've been fortunate to be able to coach.
All right, we have to get to the important stuff. Obviously, you're okay after the collision from the other night, correct? Like you're good.
Did anyone not see that collision? Man, that came fast. But you saw the bounce back, right?
Yes, right there. Yeah, hair look good.
The love from the girls, they had to make sure the hair was fixed right. So I'm here for it. Those kind of hustle plays by Kayleen and the girls. So yeah, I'm doing great.
I bring it up in part, like I got to watch the majority of that game on Sunday, and I know it got a little hairy there in the second half, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
you get the big win over Duke at home. You beat Michigan State at home. That type of test, going on the road to a rabid environment and getting the job done like that, how important was that for this group in a natural road game against a really good team in front environment like that?
Yeah, again, I mean, just it tells you a lot about this group. I mean, gosh, they hadn't lost in about 25 games dating back to Caitlin Clark, and sold out arena. Their fans are, against you every single play, and that wears on you throughout the 40-minute game. So just, again, kind of punch for punch, blow for blow. I mean, just the fact that they stayed the course, and, luckily we had that lead like you talked about in the first half, but it's just a really resilient group. Even when Iowa cut it to 6, then Schmeichel hits a big 3. Yep. We get a stop and a steal, and just, plays being made by one another on this team.
She is Brenda Frese again tonight. Maryland, USC in College Park. It is going to be electric. You're going to want to be there. Coach, I wonder if you could too, because the other video that I think people saw that I think has been really special was the one of you talking to Bree McDaniel and telling her about how much you love her grit. Can you kind of tell me what that moment was all about, and what is so unique about her and her toughness and her tenacity that you enjoy coaching so much?
Yeah, well, what I love about Bree McDaniel is she's a dog. She's our toughest defender, just relentless. Bree's been kind of battling some nagging, like ankle, foot type of injury stuff, and just is kind of continuing to pour it on for her team. And, that's what that moment was about, because, she's not 100% pain-free yet. We're trying to get her there, but she just lays everything out there for her team. And I love coaching Bree. I mean, we're really fortunate, 3 years with her, and just watching that growth every single day. But, a huge part, we're going to need her tonight. You got the best player in the country in Juju. And if this is your one opportunity, because USC doesn't come here next year, to come in and see this really, really impressive sophomore against a really elite top 10 team here in Maryland that's undefeated. So, you're not going to want to miss it.
I'm gonna get back to Juju in a second. I just wanted to ask a little bit. You obviously knew offensively what you were getting in Kaylin Schmeichel. Like
Yeah.
she has been a bucket, her entire collegiate career. But what she's brought as a complete player, as a defender this year, how much do you feel like she's even improved her game from what you saw of her when she was at Rutgers?
Oh yeah, I mean she's just scratched the surface, and I think that is what's so exciting. We knew she could score, but just her willingness to want to be a complete player is what I love about Kayleen. I mean, she wants to be an elite level defender. She wants to, be able to make the right play and be able to give the right assist when people are doubling her. So she's fun to coach because she's a winner and she just wants to be great at everything. And yeah, I mean, her 6 steals that she had at Iowa, I mean, every single one of them was so valuable.
I mean, I think it's been an incredible story, right? Like, I think it's been an amazing part of how you all have been able to put all this together. And then the other player that's really jumped off the page at me is, like, I feel like Saylor has, again, risen her game to a level that's really been difference-making.
She really has. And, that's a double-double, someone you can count on for, at least 10 boards every single game. What a luxury. People talk about our rebounding now coming back and being in the top 5 in the country. Well, it starts with Saylor. I mean, that's someone you can rely on night in and night out, and going to have to be able to have that because we're going against one of the elite rebounding teams in the country tonight. But, man, her ability to stretch the three and be so versatile, I can't take her off the court, which is a great luxury to be able to have. But long time coming, I was that first offer for Saylor and bringing her back home and just seeing her playing with the confidence and her love for the game has been really special to be able to see.
All right, so tonight, USC, Juju Watkins. I know you're used to this the last couple of years. You've gotten tons of questions about Caitlin Clark and, Angel when she was here and then down at LSU, but what this player means to the sport, and then maybe not wanting to show too much reverence because you got to go try to beat her. What's the line between those two things as a coach?
Yeah, she's the best player in the country for a reason, and it's going to have to be by committee tonight. But she's strong and powerful. She's a 3-level player that can score it. The three, the mid range, and can bully her away to the rim just with the strength and power that she has. So, and then she's got great weapons around her. That's why they're ranked in the top 5. But a must-see, those that got in here last year to see Caitlin Clark. I mean, I know it's an 8:30 tip, but it's worth it to be able to come see her in person. And, we're going to do everything we can to try to – we're not going to be able to stop her, but to make those shots as difficult as possible and make her really have to work tonight.
It's always the eternal question, right? Like, do you do everything in your power to take her away and make someone else beat you, or do you accept that she's going to get hers? And, like, what is your philosophy when you go up against players like this as a coach?
Yeah, we worked both ways with Caitlin, right? Like, we worked she was both theories. There's not a right or a wrong. You kind of have to figure that out within your scout, and without giving away the scout.
I understand. But, I do get that you're not gonna just come right out and say that.
Right. But let me tell you, I mean, this is where women's basketball is at. Juju is on the State Farm commercials and one of the best of the best to ever come through this game. So someone that you definitely want to come out and witness.
There's no question about that. Truly special. Now, you know a thing or two about electric atmospheres, obviously, Coach, right? Like, this is nothing new for you and for this program. How much of an advantage is it for your team? Like, obviously, you had one against Duke earlier this season, and you're kind of used to these big national audiences, network TV games. How much does that help your girl? This isn't going to shake them, I assume.
No, not at all. And this is why our players come here to Maryland. And, I was doing film with Saylor yesterday, and, she said to me it's a full circle moment. This was her when she was a little kid growing up, coming into Xfinity, and now here she is the player that these kids are coming in to watch. And, I thought that was so well said by Sailor, and it is. It's why players come here. We have the best fans in the country, and it's going to be an electric atmosphere tonight.
Of course, Sailor from Frederick went to Middletown, so it makes all the sense in the world that she was going to games. Coach, you enter this. This kind of starts a really brutal portion of your schedule, right? Like, there are an awful lot of top 10 teams ahead in the next couple of weeks. What does this stretch do for, obviously we know you're a really good team. Like, there's no debate about that. But for this type of grind to prove, can you prove that this is a team that's capable of winning a national championship over the course of the next few weeks?
Right, right. Well, my son the other day, he asked me, we're undefeated. Why are we not in the top four? And I explained there's just so many elite, great teams this season, and the depth and the parity. And yeah, I mean, our conference says it all. Like, this is what you get to play every night. You're at Iowa, now you turn around and play at USC. Then we have the stretch of Texas, Ohio State, UCLA, all three in a row. But this is what prepares you, right? It prepares you. It's not going to, make or break or give you an indication, because the NCAA tournament is its own beast, but it prepares you for that. It's going to get you to that level where you have to show up every single night and perform, or at some point in March you're going home. And that's what I love about where this season, this conference is so different from any other season I've ever coached with a team. And I'm glad this is a roster that I'm putting up against anybody. So, just really proud of them. And we're just going to continue to put our head down and keep working and seeing what our strengths are and what we have to work on before we get to March.
I was going to just ask before we wrap, like, do you feel like, and I'm assuming based on what you just said that you do, that like this team, given like what they've done so far, is ready for this kind of meat grinder of the next few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, ready or not, here it comes. But yeah, I mean, this is, I mean, how can you not? I love this roster. These players come every single day ready to work, and they take film like that, scouting, practices, coaching. So that's a coach's dream when you have a team that's bought in like that.
Coach, really excited for tonight. Again, 8:30 in College Park. Absolutely. If you can get down there, it is a night you want to be there. If you absolutely can't, then Fox Sports 1 is how you can watch it for Maryland and USC. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome, and really, really impressed by everything that your team has done so far, and can't wait to see what's next. Coach Brenda Frese, always appreciate taking the time for us. Thanks so much for doing this morning. Let's chat again as we get closer to March, all right?
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Go Terps.